Hey everyone! Are you ready to take your English listening skills to the next level? In today's video, we've put together a fantastic listening practice session designed to help you understand native speakers more easily. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's improve your English together. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Let's get started.
Chloe, what is the very first thing you touch when you open your eyes in the morning?
To be completely honest, my hand reaches for my smartphone on the bedside table before I even sit up.
That sounds painfully familiar. I used to unlock my screen and scroll through notifications before my feet even touched the floor.
It feels like an involuntary reflex that we can no longer control. Our brains crave that instant rush of novelty first thing in the morning.
Exactly, and within 5 minutes of waking up, our minds are already flooded with headlines, opinions, and other people's problems.
It immediately puts your nervous system into a reactive state before the day has even started. You start your day carrying everyone else's emotions instead of your own.
That exact realization hit me last week when I looked at my weekly screen time report. I was spending nearly 6 hours a day staring at social media feeds.
6 hours every day is practically a full-time job. What made you decide that enough was finally enough?
I felt completely exhausted, easily distracted, and constantly anxious without any clear reason. That was the turning point when I decided to delete every single social media app for 7 full days.
Deleting everything cold turkey sounds terrifying for someone accustomed to checking feeds every 10 minutes. How did you prepare yourself mentally for that sudden break?
I knew that if I hesitated or tried to taper off gradually, I would make excuses. On Sunday evening, I uninstalled Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook in one single sweep.
Did you announce your departure to your followers, or did you just completely vanish offline without warning?
I did not post any dramatic farewell announcements on my profiles. I only sent a quick message to my family and close friends letting them know they could still reach me by calling or sending a direct text.
That is a very healthy boundary. It shows you wanted to eliminate mindless infinite scrolling rather than meaningful human communication.
Precisely. Social media platforms trick us into thinking they are the only way to stay connected, which simply is not true.
How did Monday morning feel after you woke up with a clean home screen and 0 apps?
Monday morning felt completely surreal because my thumb kept tapping the empty space where my social media folder used to sit. The muscle memory was so strong that my hand moved entirely on autopilot.
Our subconscious habits run deeper than we realize. How many times did you catch yourself opening your phone during the first day?
I must have unlocked my phone 50 times before lunch just to stare blankly at my wallpaper. It was shocking to see how compulsive my checking behavior had become over the years.
Did you experience those strange phantom vibrations in your pocket throughout the day?
Yes, almost constantly. I kept feeling a distinct buzz against my leg, but whenever I pulled out my phone, there was absolutely no notification.
Psychologists call that phantom vibration syndrome. Our brains are so accustomed to continuous digital stimulation that our nervous system misinterprets ordinary muscle twitches as incoming alerts.
Knowing that did not make it any less unnerving. By late afternoon, I felt an intense restlessness because I did not know what to do with tiny fragments of free time.
Normally, whenever we wait for coffee or stand in an elevator, we instantly pull out our phones to avoid feeling idle. What did you do during those quiet moments instead?
I forced myself to just stand still and observe the world around me. It felt surprisingly awkward at first, almost as if I were exposed in public.
We have become completely intolerant of quiet moments as a modern society. What was your biggest challenge when you finished work on Monday night?
The evening was the hardest part because I usually collapse on the sofa and doomscroll for 2 hours straight after dinner. Sitting on my couch without a glowing screen felt like a bizarre void in my routine.
How did you manage to resist the temptation to download the apps back onto your phone that first night?
I placed my phone inside a drawer in another room and picked up a notebook to write down my thoughts. Writing by hand gave my restless hands something tangible to do.
Did Tuesday bring a fresh wave of challenges, or did it feel a bit easier than the first day?
Tuesday was actually dominated by an intense wave of FOMO, the fear of missing out. My brain kept whispering that important news, trending memes, or friend updates were happening without me.
That fear can be overwhelming because social media algorithms are specifically designed to make us feel left out if we look away. Did you feel disconnected from your social circle?
I felt somewhat isolated at first, but then I asked myself what I was actually missing. Most content on our feeds is just transient noise that has zero impact on our actual lives.
That is so true. We consume endless updates about acquaintances and celebrities, yet we learn nothing of real substance.
Exactly. I realized that keeping up with hundreds of online acquaintances was draining the mental energy I needed for my real relationships.
How did your physical energy and attention span hold up during the second day?
I felt a lingering mental fog, almost like a mild withdrawal headache. My brain was clearly protesting the sudden lack of cheap dopamine hits.
Dopamine withdrawal is a real physiological process when you cut out highly stimulating activities. Did you find a way to wind down peacefully on Tuesday evening?
I decided to open an old paperback book that had been sitting untouched on my bedside table for months. I ended up reading 2 whole chapters before my eyelids grew naturally heavy.
How did your sleep compare to the nights when you scrolled right up until bedtime?
The difference was night and day. I fell into a deep, uninterrupted sleep within 15 minutes and woke up without that familiar dry, burning sensation in my eyes.
By Wednesday, which was day 3 of your challenge, did your mental resistance begin to soften?
The compulsive urge to reach into my pocket began to diminish, but a profound quietness settled over my apartment. The sheer silence of my living space felt almost heavy.
We are so accustomed to background podcasts, video autoplay, and notification pings that genuine silence can feel intimidating. How did your mind respond to that quiet environment?
My thoughts gradually began to decelerate. Instead of jumping chaotically between dozens of disconnected topics, my mind started focusing on singular, deeper reflections.
Neurologists say that boredom is essential because it activates the brain's default mode network. Did you experience any unexpected creative sparks during that quiet time?
I actually started brainstorming several creative ideas for personal writing projects that I had abandoned months ago. When your brain is no longer overloaded with other people's thoughts, it finally has the space to generate its own ideas.
It proves that we are often not lacking creativity, but rather lacking mental space. How did your daily routine feel during Wednesday afternoon?
Time felt noticeably slower and more spacious. An hour without phone interruptions suddenly felt like 3 hours of productive, focused life.
That is such a liberating feeling. We always complain that we do not have enough time in a day, but we simply surrender our hours to screens.
That was my exact epiphany. I had been claiming for years that I was too busy to read or exercise, yet I had easily given 30 hours a week to social media feeds.
How did day 4 impact your professional productivity and concentration at work?
My ability to sustain deep focus on complex tasks improved dramatically on Thursday. I sat down and completed an extensive analytical report in 2 hours without feeling the urge to switch tabs.
That flow state is nearly impossible to reach when your attention is constantly fragmented by incoming alerts. Research shows it takes over 20 minutes to regain focus after a single distraction.
Removing those tiny micro-distractions felt like removing heavy weights from my ankles. My work quality was higher, and I finished my entire task list before 5 o'clock.
Did you notice any emotional changes or shifts in your mood throughout Thursday?
I felt a profound sense of inner calm and emotional stability. I had not realized how much subtle irritability and social comparison were affecting my daily mood.
When we scroll through curated highlight reels, our subconscious mind constantly compares our internal messy reality with someone else's polished external image. Dropping that comparison must have brought tremendous relief.
It lifted a massive weight off my shoulders. To celebrate finishing work early, I decided to go for an hour-long walk in the neighborhood park without wearing any earbuds.
Walking outdoors without music, audiobooks, or podcasts is so rare today. What did you notice during that sensory walk?
I noticed the gentle sound of the autumn breeze through the trees, the smell of blooming flowers, and the golden warmth of the afternoon sun on my skin. It felt as if my physical senses were waking up from a long, artificial sleep.
We spend so much time trapped inside digital glass screens that we forget how rich and vibrant the physical world truly is.
I realized that real life offers far more texture and beauty than any high-definition screen could ever display.
By Friday, which marked day 5, was your automatic impulse to check your phone completely broken?
It was practically gone. If I had 5 minutes of downtime between meetings, I simply took a deep breath, looked out the window, or drank a glass of water.
You successfully rewired your brain to tolerate stillness without needing immediate digital stimulation. How did your weekend begin on Friday evening?
I met an old college friend for dinner on Friday night. In the past, both of us would keep our smartphones face down on the table and check them whenever the conversation paused.
That habit of keeping phones on dinner tables sends a subtle signal that the digital world is more urgent than the person sitting right across from you. How did you handle your phone during dinner?
I kept my phone zipped inside my jacket pocket on silent the entire evening. I gave my friend my complete, undivided attention for 3 continuous hours.
Did your friend notice that you were entirely present during the meal?
My friend commented on it directly and mentioned that our conversation felt remarkably meaningful and grounding. We discussed real vulnerabilities, personal dreams, and cherished memories instead of repeating viral internet stories.
Giving someone your full attention has become one of the rarest and most thoughtful gifts you can offer in our distracted world.
It genuinely deepened our friendship. Being fully present made me realize that quality relationships require real engagement, not just reacting with heart emojis online.
Saturday was day 6 of your experiment. How did you spend your first fully offline weekend day?
I spent Saturday morning cooking a hearty breakfast completely from scratch without rushing to look at cooking videos or filming my plate. I simply enjoyed chopping fresh ingredients and listening to the sizzle in the skillet.
Mindful cooking is such a grounding experience when you are not distracted by staging the perfect photo for social media approval.
I did not take a single photo all morning. Eating warm food while it was fresh and savoring every bite was infinitely more satisfying than waiting for validation from strangers.
The compulsion to document everything often robs us of the joy of actually living the experience in real time.
That is so true. In the afternoon, I cleaned and organized my bookshelf, listened to an old vinyl record, and sat on my balcony watching the sunset.
How did your physical body feel after nearly a week without constant screen glare and neck strain?
My chronic neck stiffness had vanished, and my recurring evening headaches were completely gone. My eyes felt clear and rested, and my resting heart rate was notably lower throughout the weekend.
Your nervous system was finally resting after years of relentless digital overstimulation. How did you feel knowing that Sunday would be the final day of your detox?
I felt an unexpected mixture of pride and reluctance. Part of me was curious about what had accumulated in my inboxes, but a bigger part of me did not want the peace to end.
Sunday was day 7. How did you approach the final 24 hours of your challenge?
I spent Sunday reflecting on the entire week and journaling about the drastic shifts in my mental clarity, sleep, and emotional peace. I realized that my mind felt cleaner, lighter, and more spacious than it had in years.
When the 7 days officially concluded on Sunday night, what was your initial reaction when you downloaded the apps back onto your phone?
I actually hesitated for several minutes with my finger hovering over the install button. When I finally reopened Instagram and Twitter, I was hit by an overwhelming wave of sensory overload.
What did looking at those bustling feeds feel like after experiencing a full week of pure silence?
The colors seemed unnaturally bright, the autoplaying videos felt frantic, and the endless flood of opinions and promotions felt chaotic and intrusive. It was genuinely uncomfortable to watch.
Your baseline dopamine sensitivity had successfully reset over the week. You were seeing the platforms with objective clarity rather than through the lens of continuous addiction.
I scrolled for less than 10 minutes before closing the apps in exhaustion. I realized with absolute clarity that I had not missed anything of genuine value during my 7 days away.
That realization must have been so liberating. The world kept spinning smoothly, and your life was actually much better without the constant digital noise.
Not a single emergency had happened that required my instant awareness. Anything that truly mattered had reached me through direct phone calls from the people who love me.
A digital detox is powerful, but the real challenge is preventing old habits from creeping back into daily life. What concrete boundaries did you set up after the experiment ended?
The first rule I implemented was turning off all push notifications for every social media application permanently. Now, my phone only rings or vibrates for direct phone calls and text messages.
Disabling non-essential notifications removes the external triggers that constantly pull our attention away from reality. Did you keep all the apps installed, or did you prune them permanently?
I permanently deleted TikTok and Twitter because they brought virtually zero lasting value or positive emotion to my life. I kept only Instagram to stay in touch with long-distance friends, but I buried it inside a folder on my last screen page.
Hiding the app icon adds healthy friction, which stops subconscious muscle memory from opening the app automatically. What other practical phone settings did you adjust?
I turned my entire phone screen into grayscale mode using the accessibility settings. Stripping away the vibrant saturated colors makes the phone look like a boring tool rather than an addictive toy.
The grayscale technique is so effective because app developers specifically use bright red notification badges and vibrant palettes to stimulate our reward centers.
Looking at a black and white screen completely neutralizes that addictive pull. I check what I need to check and put the device down within 2 minutes.
What new guidelines did you create for your morning and nighttime routines?
I established a strict no screens rule for the first hour of my morning and the last hour before going to sleep. I bought an analog alarm clock so that my smartphone no longer sleeps on my nightstand.
Keeping the phone outside the bedroom protects your sleep environment and ensures your morning thoughts remain entirely your own. That single habit is transformative.
It has completely transformed how I begin my day. Now, my mornings start with gentle stretching, brewing fresh coffee, and reading 10 pages of a book before touching any screen.
Your mornings belong to your own peace of mind now, rather than belonging to tech algorithms and strangers' opinions.
In addition to those daily rules, I have decided to practice a recurring 24-hour digital detox every Sunday. Having one completely offline day each week serves as a regular mental reset button.
A weekly digital Sabbath gives your nervous system a predictable rhythm of rest, recovery, and quiet reflection. What advice would you give to someone who feels completely overwhelmed by their screen time?
My first recommendation is to start small by choosing just one app that drains the most time and deleting it for 48 hours over a weekend. You do not have to tackle a full week right away if it feels too intimidating.
Setting a manageable initial goal helps build confidence without triggering intense withdrawal panic. How should someone prepare their environment before starting a detox?
You must prepare rewarding analog activities in advance, such as buying interesting books, getting art supplies, or planning outdoor trips. If you leave your schedule completely empty, the boredom will feel unbearable and cause an immediate relapse.
Replacing the digital habit loop with healthy physical alternatives is essential for lasting change.
Also, inform the important people in your life so you do not worry about anyone thinking you are in danger or ignoring them. Open communication gives you permission to disconnect with total peace of mind.
That gives you the freedom to step away without lingering guilt or anxiety.
Above all, remember that technology should be an intentional tool that serves your life goals, not a master that commands your attention. Real life is happening all around us in the present moment, not behind a piece of illuminated glass.
Reclaiming your attention is the highest form of self-respect and mental freedom in our modern digital landscape. Thank you for sharing such a practical and inspiring journey with us today, Alex.
Thank you, Chloe. I genuinely hope our conversation encourages anyone feeling overwhelmed to put their phone down and rediscover the beauty of the real world.